I'm a liar.
The future's here, it's right before your eyes.
Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do our monthly budget, basically our budget planning, our cash flow planning for the coming month. So we're going to budget out May. If you guys remember, I did the quarterly budget, so I have some big changes since the quarterly budget that's not only going to affect May, but it's going to start affecting the future months as well. So what I've actually done is in addition to my monthly budgets where I've used this template to budget out the whole year, I've also come up with a yearly view budget. So let me click on that, and where I've actually done every single month, month by month, because we have some big changes going on. I wanted to kind of budget out like that so I could see it side by side at a glance, and I can make updates a little bit faster and then just transfer the information onto my monthly budget. Originally, if you remember, Ricky's base pay after taxes was roughly about $544 a month. You notice here the base pay has gone up. So one of the biggest change in our financial things is Ricky's pay. So Ricky was on his 90-day probation period, his new hire probation period. So that officially ended. So now he is officially, they call them partner. So he's not an employee, he's a partner. So he's officially a partner with the company that he's with. They gave him a $1 an hour raise. So they raised him from $16 an hour to $17 an hour. And now he is officially enrolled in the pipe fitter apprentice program, which will take about, they said it can take up to 7 months for him to complete, but once he's completed with that, then he will get a $4 an hour raise, and then he will automatically be enrolled in the welder program, which both of those programs are completely covered through the company. A lot of the training is through the company, and any training that has to be done outside of the company is covered 100% as well. So that's really awesome. So what we're seeing here is that increase in pay that he had, that extra $1 an hour, and also we've adjusted his federal tax withholding because of the new tax laws and everything that are going on. So if you saw earlier this year, we got quite a bit back on our tax return. We got about $6,000 back from federal. So our goal now is to adjust each of his withholdings so that we're keeping more money every paycheck instead of getting a huge amount back at the end of the year. So he's already paid quite a bit into the federal. If you go to the IRS website, they have a calculator on there, so you can actually plug in how much you've already paid in taxes, how much you're estimated to make for the year, and it will tell you whether you should adjust your withholding. So it recommended that he add more deductions or allowances off of the federal, so basically they will not be holding any more federal for the rest of the year. He's already paid what he's estimated to owe, and he actually has overpaid by $700 or $800, so we still might get some money back even after the fact. So that's one of the big things that has changed here. He got the increase in raise, and we've adjusted his taxes, so we went ahead and adjusted that number up here. The other thing was his pay period. His paychecks have changed from Wednesday back to Friday. So if you remember, when I did the quarter budget with you guys last month, he was supposed to have 5 paychecks in May. It's not going to work out that way. He's going to have 4 paychecks in May, but June will be 5 paychecks, so it's still kind of equaled out for what we were planning for the quarter, so that's not too bad. But I want to bring you onto my yearly budget real quick. So what we've done for the year, you can see here what we've, the months that we've already done and then the months that we're planning out. So basically what we've done is I've accounted for what months have 4 paychecks and what months have 5 paychecks. So I went ahead and adjusted these numbers for the year. So then when I do the next quarter or I do a monthly, I can go ahead and readjust. We were not originally budgeting Ricky's overtime into the overall budget. We were kind of just waiting to see, but their schedule is basically 5 10-hour days, and then Saturday is the day that can fluctuate. So I went ahead and budgeted out 5 10-hour days. So this overtime right here reflects 2 hours of overtime per day, so basically 10 hours of overtime per week. So I went ahead and adjusted that for the year just so we could see overall, have a better idea of where the money is going to go. The other thing, if you notice here, this amount here for May is actually a little higher than July because they did have one Saturday that basically their Saturdays get paid like a week later than what we would think. So he might have, basically he'll get paid, so he got paid today, which is Wednesday. and then he'll get his last Saturday on next Wednesday, and then he'll get his first official paycheck with the company on Friday the 4th. So that's kind of what we've done here. So I went ahead and budgeted out. I readjusted for the year based on Ricky's new pay and the tax withholding, and we went ahead and did the 10 hours of overtime, kind of repeating myself here. And then the other thing is we've changed some things here with the house and the emergency fund. So we have decided to purchase the house now. Originally, you guys knew we were plugging away for a down payment for a house, which we've been doing for a down payment for a house. And our original goal was to kind of sit tight for about 2 years and save up about 20% down. And there was mainly two reasons why we were doing that. The first one was we weren't sure if with the house market has gone up quite a bit over here in the Arizona, Phoenix area. So we weren't sure if we would qualify for something without putting 20% down. We weren't sure how much of a loan we could qualify for just because of the amount of money that Ricky's making. We weren't sure about that. Other thing was we wanted to try to be able to put 20% down so we wouldn't have the private mortgage insurance. So things have kind of changed. We went ahead and reached out to a lender. I wanted them to run everything just to see where we stood, what we would possibly qualify for, how much would we need to be working on. We are debt free, so I wasn't sure how our credit scores were going to be and how all of that whole process was going to be. So it turns out that we actually will qualify for something with only having to put 5% down. So we figured we're going to go ahead and shoot to do something now. We're thinking about June. We'll have our pre-approval letter, so it will state exactly how much we can start looking around for. Because we're going to have everything done ahead of time, it should only take us about 30 days to close once we find a house and put an offer on it. So we're estimating that we should be in a new home by August. Okay, so things are changing. I know I literally just said last week that we were going to sit tight for 2 years in the apartment. Sometimes we have to discuss things with our partner and decide what do we actually want to do. The other thing is because I planned out the rest of the year, in addition to that, I planned out the next 5 or 6 years ahead of time to see, because we have some bigger goals. We want to, fund our girls fund. We want to start maxing out our retirement funds. There's, we want to have the house. There's so many other things, having a car replacement fund that we wanted to see ahead of time and see how long will it take us to. But so I got the idea of doing this side by side from actually, I think it's One Big Happy Life, their channel. They had budgeted out 5 years, and I thought, hey, I'm already budgeting out a year. Why don't I do 5 years? So I sat down and I did 5, 6, maybe even 8 years. I don't know. I just got carried away, and I started budgeting out for all of these big things, and I could see, you know what? We could start accomplishing some of this stuff a little sooner than later. So Ricky and I, like I said, I contacted the lender, and they ran our application and everything. They said that would look really good because obviously we have no debt. So we have the debt ratio to income level is awesome. So they said we look really good. We are super excited. The other thing is the new lease, the year lease that we were going to end up renewing literally starts in May. So I contacted the apartment complex and said, we're in the process of purchasing a house. If we were to purchase a house, are we able to get out of the lease? And they said no. When we moved in, it was owned by a different company, and their lease, the first lease that we signed, did say if you purchased a home, you could get out of the lease without any penalty. This new company says no. So I asked, can we just go month to month then? Because we plan on only being in here for maybe another 3 months now, because we're really, we're going to press on. What they said is basically they take the market value rent and then they add $200 to it. So I'm not sure if you remember, but our rent, originally it was $950. This is rent and water combined. It was going to go up to $998. So basically $1,000 a month. So basically what I've done is I've just added that $200 to it because we're going to go month to month. So I'm just going to say around $1,200. I have asked her to quote me for a 6-month lease. I have not heard back from her. It is Wednesday the 25th. It's only 8:30 in the morning, so they don't open up till 9. So around 9 o'clock, I'm going to call and find out what a 6-month lease would be. So this number, again, things can change all the time, you guys. That's why I encourage you to kind of have this stuff just laid out so you can see, and then you can adjust things accordingly. When the lending officer talked to me, he mentioned that if we were to purchase a home for $170,000 and put the 5% down, if we had the private mortgage insurance, property tax, homeowners insurance, interest and principal, along with a homeowners association, we were looking at roughly $1,200 a month as our mortgage payment. Now, those are all stipulations, right? So we've been looking at houses around that price range. However, we've been looking in neighborhoods that do not have a homeowners association, so that could bring down the mortgage payment by $100 a month. Also, the property tax could be less or more, things like that. So that's kind of, this is just all estimated. So we're just saying, hey, this is the most we're going to pay, $1,200 a month for our month-to-month lease here in the apartment, and $1,200 a month is the most roughly we're going to pay for mortgage, including all of that stuff. So that's kind of what we went ahead and did. The other thing is, when you close on the house and you get the keys on the house, you have anywhere from 1 to 2 months before your first mortgage payment is due. So I went ahead and just put on here at least 1 month with no rent and no mortgage payment. And so now I need to go on and readjust for May. So for May, I readjusted Ricky's base pay, but I'm going to go ahead and put in the overtime this time. So originally, like I said, I was not budgeting overtime on here, and we weren't sure what was consistent and what was not consistent. But they are basically, their schedule is the 5 days a week, 10 hours a day. So that 10 hours of overtime is pretty much set. Saturdays, again, they fluctuate. Roughly the overtime is going to be about 230 a week, and then that first week, like I said, he's actually going to have a Wednesday on the 2nd, and then he's going to have the 4th. So for the 2nd, 530. So this is, if I come down to the bottom, it's going to tell me how much I have extra that I need to tell it where to go. So I'm going to budget that out. Again, this rent, I basically took what our new rent was supposed to be, and I added that $200 to it. That, the front office basically said that the $200 is what they add on for month to month. So that's what I'm going to leave it at for now. I'm not sure the exact number. Hopefully, later today. I'm sorry I'm filming this before I know the exact number. Percent goals that we were working towards. So we wanted to do 5% for all of these, and up to 20% for long-term savings. However, we're just going to keep these other ones at $100 across the board. So I'm just going to change that. And then giving, we're going to change that to $100. So we will have our renter's insurance. So because we have the 4 weeks, we just do $10 a day for groceries, so $280. We have been going over, like, my mom was here for, a month and a half, so we knew we would be spending more in groceries because my mom was here. However, April, you guys will see on the budget report, we went over on groceries, and we went over on gas. Just kind of crazy. So we're going to try to reel it back in. So I'm going to leave it at $280. But basically, Ricky's cell phone, $35. SRP on track for $70. So I'm going to change that. Gas, we're going to leave it at $140. Our insurance, we're going to leave it at $95.28. Car, it's actually doing $100. I looked online, and brakes can range anywhere from $100 to $150. So I'm just going to do $100, and hopefully that is good enough. And then these are all the same. Fun, $100. One. Okay. So if you guys see, I have a 0 now. I've told every dollar where to go. So then what I do is I go week by week, and I adjust it accordingly on there. So I'm going to change these 60s to 100. And this is just so I know out of each paycheck what's doing what. And then we're going to go ahead and put 100 here. Okay, so rent, usually rent I like to have come out towards the end of the month. So I'm going to readjust my numbers here. Okay, so what I have left on the bottom is what I need to add basically for savings. So everything should be updated now. So May, I'm just going to go through this really, really fast. Now again, this is just planning, this is projecting, and again, I go every week and I adjust numbers based on the true numbers. So we're estimating that Ricky's base pay will be $2,448. His overtime will be $1,122. I will be putting in $225 from the business. Long-term savings, basically down payment for the house, in addition to help with moving costs and all that, $1,177.48. Freedom savings, business, personal development for me and Ricky, $100 each. Giving, $100. Necessities, Basically, like I said, our rent, doing a month-to-month rent, which is way higher when you're doing that. Renter's insurance, $11.08. Groceries, $280. We're gonna try our best to stick to it. Household, $25. Ricky's cell phone, $35. Electricity, $70. Gas, $140. Car insurance, $95.28. Car maintenance, basically we're going to get the brakes checked on the car. I'm not sure if they have to be replaced, but we have the money there if they do. Motorcycle insurance, $21.16. Arcadia and Elsa's commission jobs, $28.12. Now, we will have some added expenses in June because we will be participating in the 401k, and we will be doing some type of health things. I'm going to talk about that more with you guys in June. Fun, we have gone over on fun also. We've been spending closer to 200 and something. We're going to try our best. So that's kind of what May is looking like. We're going to start, like I said, we're going to go ahead and start budgeting out at least the 10 hours of overtime just so we get a better idea of what it's looking like. Again, in June, you'll see that some things will be changing. We're going to keep you posted on the house situation. We're going to make a whole video series, shopping for the house and all of that stuff, so you guys can stay tuned for that. And stay tuned. On Friday, we will do the budget report or the recap for April, and I'll talk about a little more detail. But yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. How is your May budget plan looking for you? Do you have any big changes coming up? Please let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!